Like many of us around the world, COVID-19 has upended our lives, and there's resultingly a large desire for escapism. One of those means of escapism for millions has been video games, and I'm no exception to that. I've been sifting through my enormous back catalog of video games on Steam, a platform for buying said video games, and went back to an old favorite, Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is an online multiplayer video game created by Valve and originally released in 2007. It can be summarized as thus: two teams, one red, one blue, trying to obtain an objective, such as stealing a suitcase, or attacking/defending a certain area in a round. There are 9 characters, or classes, to choose from. It's a simple story of two teams fighting over something. But what makes Team Fortress 2 interesting is the way it uses that simple story to make its world cartoonish and over-exaggerated through a combination of visuals and audio. Team Fortress 2 is comprised of various maps, or gameplay environments, with one example being the map 2 Fort. 2 Fort has 2 bases, one belonging to red and one belonging to blue, next to one another, with a neutral zone in the middle. It is nonsensical logically, as it would be extremely unlikely that 2 warring factions would build bases right next to one another. Andrea Wickland, one of the illustrators behind Team Fortress 2, concurs and states that
our maps didn't make a lot of sense in the real world, where 2 opposing forces rarely build bases within 50 feet of one another. In addition, the game wasn't visually distinct from our other products. A stylized world had none of these problems.
In other words, Team Fortress 2 has environmental design full of inconsistencies and nonsensical ideas, because it makes sense with a more cartoonish and over-exaggerated look, as it lends itself to more creative environments for them to fight in, such as a sawmill with comically enormous saw blades that can kill you if you get too close to them. With the world as exaggerated and cartoonish as it is, it would only make sense that the audio of Team Fortress 2 would reflect this. This is mostly found in the characters in Team Fortress 2, all of which are exaggerated stereotypes of different nationalities, areas of the world, and whatever the heck this character is. The Heavy, for instance, is a strong man from Russia who has more strength than intelligence, and as such has vocal lines that reflect this.
Da da da, da 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 da, come sing with me, da 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 da.
This would normally be the part where I say that stereotypes such as this are bad components of storytelling, but this is one of the few examples where it works. The world of Team Fortress 2 is already over-exaggerated and cartoonish. It wouldn't make sense if the characters didn't reflect that as well. And boy do they, having hundreds of different lines that reflect all manners of different situations and events. Team Fortress 2 contains a simplistic story of a fight between 2 opposite colored teams. What makes it interesting is what the designers do with that simple story, using it as a baseline to include comedic environments and characters through visuals and audio. It shows that sometimes you don't need a complicated story to make something interesting out of it.